Hi, good afternoon and welcome to Quarantine Cooking at the Fayette County Public Library. Today we are going to make two tasty treats, both of which use some chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. We are going to be making Texas tumbleweeds and haystacks. So I am making it with an electric skillet. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on while I am talking to you. And we only need about 300 to 350. We don't want it too hot. We don't want to scorch our chocolate. So to begin with, we are going to do Texas tumbleweeds. And to do a tumbleweed, you are going to need potato sticks. I had never seen this recipe before, but they are delicious. So you need some potato sticks. You need some smooth or creamy peanut butter. And you need some butterscotch chips. Now, the recipe calls for just a 1-to-1 ratio. So it talks about having 1 cup of butterscotch chips and 1 cup of peanut butter. That actually, when I tried it at home, it made a lot of Texas tumbleweeds. So today I'm going to just use a half a cup of each so that we can make 2 delicious crunchy cookies for us today. All right, so my skillet is getting warm. It is so simple to make these. You simply take your, and I'm using a half a cup today, your half a cup of butterscotch chips, and we're going to put them in either the frying pan or, like I said, I'm using my electric skillet, and we're going to want that to melt. Now, I do suppose this recipe would also work in the microwave. If you want to try it that way, just don't burn them. Don't over melt them because I don't think it's going to taste very good if you do that. So here goes the butterscotch chips. And then we want to get our peanut butter in there. And we're just going to scoop out that half a cup. Get that peanut butter in the skillet. Now my skillet is rather large for what we're doing today, but that's okay. So I'm going to get that peanut butter in there, and that's going to start to melt with those butterscotch chips. I'm just going to start to stir it around a little bit. You can start to see that it's getting all melted. And that's what we want. We don't want any lumps of the butterscotch chips, and you want to mix those well together so that you have your butterscotch and your peanut butter all mixed together. And really, guys, the last step is just to pour in the potato sticks and mix them all up, and then drop them onto either a wax paper that you have nearby, or today I am using the baking liners, the muffin liners, and my muffin pan so that I can have individual servings. Also, at the end, before you actually serve these to people, it's going to need to go into the refrigerator for probably 5 to 10 minutes. And once it comes out, here I'll go ahead and show you while it's melting. Once it comes out, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have a Texas tumbleweed. So it all will congeal together. Doesn't that sort of look like a tumbleweed? If you've ever been to Texas and seen them roll across the highway, they're fascinating to watch. So this is what we're making today. All right, it looks like everything's pretty well melted in here. That's our butterscotch and our peanut butter. Now, when you use 1 full cup of each of these, the recipe called for 9 ounces of potato sticks. Today, I'm sort of just going to eyeball it and throw it in there and get them all covered. So these are potato sticks. Walmart had this big, wonderful can of them. So we're going to use those today. We're just going to sprinkle them in there, pile them on, and sort of fold that peanut butter and butterscotch all over those potato sticks. There we go. Now the last step is the one that gets a little messy. It's trying to get it out of the pan and into an area where you can serve it. So now that they're all covered, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat down a little bit while I'm scooping it out. Okay, so I'm actually got another scoop here where I'm just going to grab some of the cookie mix here and pour them into these individual baking liners and create Texas tumbleweeds. All right. So depending again on how big you want them, if you're serving them to small children, you'll want to make them smaller. If you're serving them to a bunch of teenage boys, you might want to make them a lot bigger. But as you can see, even a half of a recipe makes, 8 or 9 of these. Let's see how many more I can get. About done with our Texas tumbleweeds. And this is all that it takes. It doesn't take much prep time or even cook time. All right, let me get this last little bit out. Now, this needs to go in the refrigerator for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you will have your Texas tumbleweed. That's what this is. All right, so that was our first delicious crunchy cookie. Now we're going to move on to our second delicious crunchy cookie. And for the crunch part, you need the chow mein noodles. And again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And for the, those were Haystacks. No, those are tumbleweeds. I'm sorry. I get these two mixed up. So we're working on the Haystacks right now. So we're going to need our about a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips and the same amount of butterscotch chips. And now there's a little peanut butter in the bottom of my pan, but that's going to be just fine. So we're going to turn our heat back up. We're going to pour our chocolate in, and we're going to pour our butterscotch in, and we're going to let that heat melt those two different types of chocolate chips together. Well, they're not both chocolate, but baking chips. Okay, so now we're going to have chocolate and butterscotch all mixed together. So, and again, you don't want it super hot, because then you'll burn it. We don't want to burn it. Okay. And like I said, if you want to try it in the microwave, you could try it in the microwave. Now, I was thinking that you might have some additional ingredients. You could maybe add peanuts. You could maybe add some marshmallows. That might be an interesting flavor to add in here. Okay, so as soon as all of those little baking chips are melted, again, it's just going to be sort of an eyeball thing. We're going to pour the chow mein noodles in, and then we're going to dish them out. Again, you can put it on wax paper, or like today, since I'm trying to make individual servings, I have my muffin liners and my pan, and I am going to make some individual servings today. All right, looks like our two baking chips are pretty well mixed together in there. All right, and then we're just going to take our chow mein noodles, and we're going to make a haystack this time. Take those crunchy noodles and fold that yummy chocolate and butterscotch into the chow mein noodles. Now, you at home, if you try something a little different, if you add marshmallows or nuts, show us and tell us about it, because I'd like to see what you guys do, if you guys have made these recipes before or not. But again, they're very quick and easy. All right, so once they're all folded in, I'm going to actually use this little mini ice cream scoop, and I am going to scoop up a bunch and just put it in my baking pan. And again, you're going to get this little bite-sized morsels of chocolatey and crunchy goodness. And it will be oh so delicious. So you can see that just a small amount of ingredients makes quite a few cookies, probably almost a dozen here. especially if you made both haystacks and tumbleweeds. All right, looks like we've about got them all out of the pan. And again, doing this on a skillet on your stovetop would be easy, or possibly even in a microwave. That one's a little big. Maybe I'll eat that one myself later. All right, so folks, today we have made two wonderful, simple, easy, crunchy treats for the family. We have our haystacks here and our Texas tumbleweeds. So that is our recipe for this week. I'm Miss Lisa here at the Fayette County Public Library for Quarantine Cooking. Hope to see you back here again next Friday.